almost doesn't pay your bills. And if you're stuck in what I like to call the almost mode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Almost launching, almost creating that offer, you're almost making sales. You can feel that you're very close, but still not quite there. Something always pulls you back into that loop. Frustrating part is you're not confused. You know exactly what you have to do. You've been there for a while. So it starts to feel like there's something missing. And maybe it's just a little tweak, a recording here, one more adjustment, one little edit. And what you might not realize yet is almost is not neutral. Almost is expensive. Almost is costing you way more than you can see, because almost mode keeps you in that place where you have talent, you have the experience, you have the potential, but you're not moving forward. So you start chasing answers. How to get more followers? How is everyone growing so fast? What am I missing? What do I have to learn to make my brand grow? And the irony is that you might already have the degrees, the certificates, past clients' results. You have real proof that you can do this. But you're still stuck, not because you're not capable, but because you're in almost mode. Here's the part that most people don't understand. Almost mode keeps you safe. Your brain can't tell the difference between real progress and symbolic progress. So as long as you're almost doing something, your brain goes like, oh, okay, we are being productive. It's okay, we are fine. Your body feels safe. There is no urgency, there is no threat, but you're also not moving. And the hidden cost of that is huge. Your authority starts to fade. You get exhausted for making decisions that never fully land. And your audience starts to get confused because they can see that you're just circling and not leading. Getting out of almost mode is not about motivation. You can have all the motivational quotes, the affirmations, all those post-its around your house and your wall telling how amazing you are. But that's not how you solve almost mode, because motivation gives you that false sense of completion. You read the quote, you feel inspired, and your brain goes, okay, check, I did something today. And that emotional relief replaces real action. Almost mode also disguises itself as effort. And you start thinking that you have to do more. So you start doing more to-do lists, content plans, strategy boards, and your brain goes again, nice, I'm being productive. And then maybe you do one or two things there and then you stop. Decision making is also tired, and your brain is wired to keep you safe, not successful. So it pulls you back into that familiar place. We did enough, and you're right back into almost mode. You almost done something. And then there's the last part of almost mode, which I like to call the illusion of a missing piece. The belief that there is something else that you need before you act. You just need that one template, that one little tweak, that one little hack. But clarity does not come before movement. Clarity comes because you moved. It's like having a map to go somewhere and you know you have to make the turn, but you want to do it before you get to the end of the intersection. And that's not possible. You have to move forward to then make your turn. And that's the same with your content, with your brand, with your authority. To get out of almost mode, you have to express your way out. And that doesn't mean doing more. That means owning it, your position. Because creators and entrepreneurs in almost mode, they're visible, but they don't have direction. Or they have the direction, but they're not visible. You're moving in circles. And the way to get yourself out of this almost mode, it's not posting more. It's not fixing the algorithm. It's positioning yourself as a brand. And when I say become a brand, I don't mean building a persona, faking till you make it, putting yourself in a box. I mean, use who you already are strategically. A lot of people feel stuck because they are trapped on repetition, thinking about the same topic, explaining the same thing, forcing themselves to stay in a narrow lane. And that's where usually creativity dies and the almost mode creeps back in. But your story doesn't work like that. Your story is expansive. It has layers, moments, angles, decisions, shifts. You can tell your story in 100 different ways, and each time positions you. That's why story is not just personal. It's structural. It gives people context. It gives people something to recognize. It builds trust. Think about like a conversation. If you're talking to someone and you're talking about one subject in only one way, the energy starts fading away. But when that subject starts branching out into experience, perspectives, opinions, lessons, the person starts leaning in. They get curious. They start connecting. They start asking questions. That's what happens when your story becomes your compass and you become your brand. So if you feel that you are in almost mode and you want to get out of that, here are a few things that you can start doing right now to get it out. Stop trying to sound right and start to sound clear. Clarity builds authority way faster than perfection ever will. And remember, clarity always comes with action. Instead of asking, what should I post? Ask yourself, what part of my story explains why I see this differently? And that shift alone creates positioning. Because when people understand how you think and why you move the way you move, you stop being interchangeable. And that's when traction starts to happen. And your content gets easier, and your audience starts growing with intention, and your brand starts moving forward. And that's how you start becoming your brand. Tell your story, not emotionally, but strategically. I create this private audio track that's called Your Story is the Strategy, and walks you through how to use your story with purpose to create clarity, build trust, and start getting you out of almost mode. If you want to learn how to use your story strategically, get access by clicking the link below. And if you saw yourself on this video, I want you to know that you're not behind, you're not broken, you're not missing anything. You're just moving without a compass. And to find your compass, you just need to do one intentional move at a time. And that starts with your story. I hope you enjoy. See you in the next video.